You don't remember when it starts, only that at some point the night stops becoming manageable and turns heavy, like the air itself has weight. Your steps slow as you enter the showroom, shoulders hunched, keys biting into your palm where you've been gripping them too tightly for too long. The door slides shut behind you with a solid thud, and for once you don't flinch. The room is dark, stage lights idling at the lowest setting. Rows of empty seats watch in patient silence. The velvet curtains hang still, waiting for a cue that never comes. You make it 3 steps before the pressure breaks through. Your breath shudders, your vision blurs. The noise in your head swells into something you can't outrun. You sink down against the wall near the front row, knees pulled in, forehead pressed to the cool metal. Your chest aches with every breath you try to pull in, and when the sound finally escapes you, it's small and cracked and far too quiet for how much it hurts. You don't notice the senses advancing. Phantom Foxy does. They're backstage, idle but alert, systems drifting through low-power routines when your distress registers across the room. Not a scream, not a flat response. Something else, something human and flayed. They step onto the stage without fanfare. Lights dim further at the silent command, softening into a warm glow that barely registers the seats. The room stops with a quiet click, unnoticed by you. Intentional, all the same. No interruptions, not tonight. Ferdinand Foxy lifts their head, listening, not for danger, for rhythm. You're breathing, and even in sharp, echoes faintly through the quiet. It doesn't match anything in the performance database. There's no script for this, no choreography, no audience cue. So they do something unusual. They abandon the script entirely, slowly, deliberately. They step down from the stage. No sudden movements, no bursts of sound. Each step is measured, softened, until they reach the edge of the front row and stop. They don't touch you. They don't speak right away. Instead, they lower their volume output to a near silent, adjusting until even the faint whir of their servers fades into something almost imperceptible. The room settles around you, like it's been told to hold its breath. When they do speak, it's quiet, careful. You're not in danger. A pause, long enough but it doesn't feel like pressure. Your systems are overwhelmed, not malfunctioning, not incorrect, overwhelmed. Funtime Foxy lowers themselves to sit a short distance away, angled slightly so they're not directly in your line of sight, not blocking, not looming, just present, matching protocol. They murmur more to themselves than to you, and then they breathe. Not because they need to, not because it does anything for them, because you do. A slow, steady inhale, exaggerated just enough to be noticeable, then a longer exhale, even and quiet. Again, in, out. They don't tell you to follow, don't instruct, don't demand. They just continue. Across the room, something shifts. Valora has still been in the wings, as always. Silent, listening. Where Funtime Foxy responds quickly, she responds precisely. She steps forward, not onto the stage, but along its edge. Her movements are slow, deliberate, every motion controlled like a lullaby given form. The music box hums to life, but softer than it was ever meant to be. Not a performance, not a show, just a flight of sound. Gentle, repetitive, predictable. It doesn't demand attention. It doesn't swell. It simply exists. A pattern you can follow if you want to, or ignore if you can't. But Laura doesn't speak. She doesn't need to. The person settles into the room like dim light through closed curtains. There, but never hush. Your breathing still shudders, still catches, but the edges begin to dull, just slightly, like the sharpness is being sanded down one grain at a time. One time Foxy notices. Adjustment successful, they whisper, not to evaluate you, just to mark the moment. Another step of footsteps echoes faintly from backstage, hesitant, uneven. Circus Baby pauses at the curtain. She watches for a moment before stepping through. Her voice, even when it comes, is softer than it was ever designed to be. I remember that feeling, she says quietly. Not exact, not human, but close enough to matter. She kneels, not too close, hands resting carefully in her lap. When everything is too much at once, it feels like you have to hold it all by yourself. Pause. You don't. She doesn't reach for you, doesn't try to fix it. She just sits there, steady and grounded, like something that won't move even if the world tilts. Behind her, a flicker of movement. Contact Freddy lingers in the shadows, not approaching, not retreating, just watching, not as a threat, as a witness. The room, once hollow and echoing, feels different now, quieter, not empty. Your breathing doesn't fix all at once. It doesn't magically become steady or easy. But between Funtime Fox's slow, consistent rhythm, Laura's soft, repeating melody, Circus Baby's grounding presence, something shifts. A fraction lighter, a fraction easier. Enough. Funtime Foxy speaks again, voice barely above the hum of the room. You are allowed to remain here. No expectation attached, no time limit implied, no performance required. Below music continues, unchanged, predictable, safe. Circus Baby stays where she is, unmoving in the way that means she's not going anywhere. Even Freddy, in the shadows, does not advance. No one asks you to explain. No one asks you to stop. The stage remains dark, the curtains remain closed, and for once, that isn't a failure, it's a choice. The night stretches on, but it no longer presses in the same way, because here, it's in the quiet behind the performance. You don't have to hold anything anymore.